Yerp, this perp back with another video. And I want to give a shout out to 3C Films for putting out this news. Well, this is I saw the news for this on his channel first, so I want to give him credit. But I want to do something different, a little bit. I kind of want to talk about this because this is pretty interesting. Now, for those that don't know, Final Destination is getting a reboot. Yes, they scrapped Final Destination 6. Thank God. And I'll get into that later. But I'm glad that they rebooted this. That this is getting a reboot, I should say. My thoughts on it is it's cool that they're doing it as a film. Hopefully they do a different take on the film as a whole and do something completely different. But what I would have done, I would have rebooted it as a TV series. Now, I know a lot of people I know are probably going to shake their heads, be like, no, that is a bad idea. You shouldn't do that. How could this work? This would be a mess. No, listen. This would be like the Final Destination has a perfect format for television. Listen up, right? This is exactly how I would do it, right? You get, let's say, 8 seasons, and you make this series an anthology series. And for those that don't know, I am a sucker for anthology series. I love American Horror Story, and I automatically thought this would be perfect. This would be perfect for an anthology type series. Now, you say, how would an anthology series work with Final Destination? And I'll tell you how, right? Final Destination has the easiest, kind of storytelling to, like, tell a narrative. What I would do, right? I would have, just like I said, 8 seasons. Probably 10 or 12 episodes each season, give or take. I think 12 would be just be fine. But I would pretty much have every season be a different kind of story, but have that Final Destination formula. You'll have a group of characters, pretty much same concept as the movies, group of characters, group of friends, or people that intertwine with each other, and death comes knocking at their door, and they escape death. And like, what I would do differently from the movie, like, to make this really interesting, right? At the end of each season, there'll always be a sole survivor, right? And then when it gets into the later seasons, I would start crossing them over, make it have this big ass build up, like probably a 10-year build up or something like that. And really have them, have these soul survivors from these past seasons. Like, imagine seeing the last season, right? The last 2 or last season, and you see the guy from the soul survivor from the first season in this season. That's very American Horror Story type of style. Like, American Horror Story, that's how they kind of do their crossovers. Every season is a different story, but they have a couple seasons where they cross over or they mention something within that world. So you could pretty much have season 1 be like the present timeline, and then everything from there is like kind of after or before those events. Like, it could be you could have a season that takes place like in the 50s or something like that, or the 60s or something crazy. Like, you have all these different scenarios, and once you get to like towards the end of the series, you know, you'll come across characters that like, damn, how is Death like I'll get into like how Death I'm sorry, excuse me. I just like lost a train of thought right there. But you pretty much, it's set up where it's like they try to figure out how that these certain characters stay along this long, I should say. How long have these characters been alive? How have they stayed alive this long without Death catching up to them? But at the end of it, everybody ends up pretty much dying. But I would make it a pretty interesting narrative where it's just like they went through different techniques, they passed it on to different people, so that's how they're able to avoid certain situations. I just think there's just way more you could do with a TV series with Final Destination than putting it as a movie. I could be wrong, but I see if you wanted to really bring this series back, and the way social media is, and I think it would work so much better on TV. Now, what station would it be on? I would probably choose FX or HBO. That's the only places I could see it. Or even put it on something like Shudder or something like that. But I would actually want it to be like a full-fledged, decent budget. Gore. It has to be gory, of course, because it's not gory without. It's not Final Destination without the gore. But yeah, I would do like 8-10 seasons maybe. But I'll always try to switch it up. Go in the past, maybe go into the future. I'm just thinking on top of my head, like there's so many things they could do with the Final Destination name as a series. Hopefully, maybe they might do that if the reboot movie doesn't work. It'd be interesting to see them do a TV series. Make it like 10, like I said, make it like 10, 12 episodes. Don't make it overly long where people just get disinterested. It just takes too long for them to get to the point. I would want it to kind of to not waste no time, but like also not rush things, so it feels like you're watching an actual story. Like you'll get the first episode, I don't know what, put them in any type of scenario, an airplane or a roller coaster or something like that. Just for example, they certain people are able to escape. You start with like five people or something like that, and you can tell a story, give backstory to these characters and stuff. Actually make us care about the characters, so when they die, it's just like, damn, it's just, and that's another thing about Final Destination. You could also, that's another thing about Final Destination. If you were to bring it to television, like you could really completely change how the story is being told. Like if you watch those movies, you could pretty much tell who's the main character, give people expect the unexpected type shit. I like that. It could be like this whole time you think, oh, this person is probably gonna make it out this season, but it'll completely flip it on you by like the last 3 to 4 episodes. It might just flip it on you and just you'll never see it coming. Like I want shit to be surprising like that, but who knows? That's just my theory on the reboot if they were to make it a TV series. But I hope this movie that comes out, whenever it comes out, it's probably gonna come out in like 2 years or something like that. They probably already got a script for it. Hopefully this movie can do something different, something along the lines of what I'm talking about. Kind of make it more serious, make us actually give a fuck about the characters. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Go check out my latest video that I dropped about The Leftovers, where I explain what the sudden departure is. But if you enjoyed this video and liked what I was talking about, or if you have any theories, let me know in the comments below. Like and comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, so show me some love if you haven't already. And I'll check y'all out in the next video.